Hey Virgo, this is your June 2020 general tarot forecast. So this is for Virgo, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus signs. Guys, if you happen to know your Venus is in Virgo, this reading is for you as well. Thanks for sticking with me, by the way. Apparently I needed some time off. I didn't realize. So these are up a little bit late. Forgive me. But I'm coming back to you refreshed, and I really needed that week off. So let's get into it, Virgo. Virgo Sun, wow. So some conflict here. You know, you're moving in the right direction. This is a positive direction. It could even be cheeky. It could even be fun. This is constructive conflict. So definitely something positive is going to result at the end of it. You could even be rewarded here. But, you know, as long as you're working towards something, a common goal with one other person, just try not to beat something to death if you're trying to get a point across. You know, just let someone be. Just make sure you're working in the same direction with each other. It's just a minor conflict card, and it's over pretty quickly. Could be in the workplace. Seven of Cups here jumping out as well. You can have a lot of choices that are appealing to you. If this is a love or romance reading for you, you could have a few suitors or a few love interests, or if that is just about hopes and goals and wishes and what fills your heart the most, you could be looking at a lot of different ways to make yourself happy. What makes you the happiest? What do you want? You know, what cup do you want to drink from first, type thing. But options, right? The seven is really fun. Seven of Cups, rather, is really fun. It's interesting as well, though, as numerically speaking, the seven is really offering you a chance for revision or fine-tuning. So just want to throw that out there as well. What's taking up your heart space the most, and is that the cup you want to be drinking from? Maybe something else has got your interest. All right, so Virgo, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus for June 2020. So guys, I'm going to be doing a Celtic cross for you. I am not going to use my mini deck to qualify. Wow! Starting off with the Sun, NBD. I found it distracting, so I'm going to switch that up a little bit, but thanks for your patience with me playing with this as an option. Really nice! Wow! Virgo. But I will qualify anything that stands out here that is unusual. Guys! Wow. There's another 5. This is in your recent past, so that's actually nice to see. I'm just taking off my sweater. Bear with me. We had that 5. I'm sorry, I already forget the other card that jumped out. Wow. But I remember the 5 of Wands. So you can be creative here. You can have a lot of fun. With regard to a project, I would even expect for there to be a little bit of conflict and chaos if you're experiencing something for the first time or you're developing something for the first time, particularly a creative project or something having to do with the occult or with the spiritual arts here. This is quite stunning and really nice to see this sort of tricky, not tricky like a 7 of Swords, but tricky like the 5 of Swords is like an argument, right? You know, it's nice to see that in your recent past. And wow, what was I just saying? 7 of Swords is tricky. So be careful who you're getting your information from. Be careful what you're communicating. And be careful who you think is helping you and why. Wow, look at that sword. So much positivity. Broken heart. Okay, I'm going to suggest, and there's another 5. All right, so a little bit of conflict and chaos. You're going to have to get out of the past. And the reason I say this here is because I really feel confidently here that there's something so overarchingly beautiful and positive and possible for you that there's almost this sense of, nah, this can't be real. Nah, I'm going to create a hurdle. Nah, I'm going to look to the past for a plan for the future. And I'm going to cut you off right there, guys, because the last thing you want to do is look to the past right now in terms of your rear view on how to accomplish goals in the future. I'm going to look at this in detail in a moment. This is extremely interesting to see both in your recent past And in your near future, very tricky energy, tricky communication, possibly even deceptive communication. This is gambling energy. The only positive thing about this in your near future is that you're taking a gamble in pursuit of your nearest and dearest goals to you. And with that, I remember now that Seven of Cups, if it has to do with a gamble regarding a new cup to fill your heart, that you're choosing to go in this direction, then do that. But it's going to create some awareness, and you may undergo some emotional changes because of it, but this is part and parcel when we make changes here, guys. This is an extremely interesting reading. Let me continue with the bottom of the deck energy. So I'm going to look at 3 5s. There are only 2 5s in the reading, as you can see, but we did have that 5 jump up at the beginning, and I consider that significant for you. So this is disputes and quarrels, unsurprisingly, right? What was I saying? Argument. This is an upset. This is an emotionally upset. And then the 5 of, what was out there? 5 of Wands, right? So probably in the workplace. So yeah, disputes and quarrels. Well, yeah, sure. But it's not the end of the world. There's lessons in that. And remember, all 5s are followed by 6s. So in each of these circumstances, the opportunity for balance exists. Everything's a test anyway. Everything's a test. For you, for me, for everybody. Like this month, next month, just for all of our lives. So it's how you're going to approach and react to these circumstances, right? And it's probably going to be something even from your past that's coming around again to have you level up, to have you figure something out. You're going to have to follow through with something that feels a little bit heavy, possibly because of a new direction you're taking. It could just be that your first try at something didn't work out exactly the way you wanted to. Oh well, have 50 other plans, right? That's how I feel about this reading for you. Go into something with at least 2 different, plan A and B at least, because even if plan A works out, a portion of it may not, or something may fall apart, or you may need to integrate plan B into plan A, etc. Okay, so just make sure you, another way to frame that is to say don't have all your eggs in the same basket, but definitely show off your creativity and your spiritual prowess. If this is your motivation here, please, guys, by all means do it. Don't let anyone hold you back, least of all yourselves. But yeah, this is a little bit of an emotional letdown. So this is sort of, I consider this the bottom of the deck being the basket in which all of this sits in. So June could be an emotionally, somewhat turbulent month for you. But again, all of this can be changed. This is just what's available to you and what could be playing out for you. The beautiful thing about a tarot reading is that you get to make changes. You get to see what's ahead, right? It's divination. You get to see what may lay ahead so you can make changes. These are the most exciting cards in your whole spread. The Sun indicates the situation and the Page of Pentacles qualifies it, right? And the Page of Pentacles is actually extremely exciting. We have 2 pages here, and 2 pages, of course, is fun and enjoyment. So, in and amongst some of this letdown and some of this conflict, right, you really can still have a lot of fun. And if you keep that as your motivation, there could even be children here. You could be dealing with children and there's just some work and you need to schedule and, but nonetheless, gorgeous energy. We have, Sun energy. We have, what other, nothing really outstanding except for some Venus energy here. So very interesting, Sun and Venus. Very revealing, very revealing. Make sure you don't get caught in energy that's designed to pull you down. You really want to move forward here, okay? But really creative, genius energy. This Page of Pentacles in particular has the gift, has a very special gift to share. It could be in the creative arts, literary arts especially. I would even say the dramatic arts, but certainly the occult arts, okay? This could be you're just developing your own personal magical skills here. And if that's the case, that's just marvelous. And I think if that's the case for you, as an example, you're going to meet with these types of, say, roadblocks, these types of hurdles anyway. It's just the name of the game, frankly. And as I said before, it's literally a test. No one can ever get to this sense of, shamanism or sense of, healing your own trauma and your own difficulties by eating, donuts. Like, you really have to go through it. You really got to go through it. So, kind of honor that as well. And this is where I do feel like you being able to balance this sort of conflict and chaos with this fun and enjoyment, right? Because it's like, it's like, you got to have a little bit of that rain to enjoy the sun type thing. So, as long as you keep that balanced, remember, I said, after all these fives comes these balanced, gorgeous, really positive, generous sixes. So, just remember that you are leveling up. These are tests for you. Foundation for you is the Empress. Gorgeous energy here. You can really just bring anything to life like that. You really don't even have to work too hard at this. I don't mean to offend any Virgo who's watching who has been working very hard. And perhaps the way you operate and you work on things, you make it look so easy so it doesn't look like it's very hard. But nonetheless, right, something could feel very natural to you here. And regardless, even if you are working very hard on it, it's just going to be very natural. It's going to flow very easily for you. So yeah, a lot of gorgeous energy here with this Venus ruled Empress. I would also suggest as well that your sun sign and your Venus sign could be very important for you, impactful for you in the month of June as well. So your sun sign, obviously, if you're a Virgo sun. But yeah, what's your Venus in? Your Venus could be in Virgo, but do check out your Venus sign as well. And maybe even check out that reading, because this is the foundation, your Venus here. Here in your recent past, I am pleased to see this in the recent past, the Five of Swords. Here's where we're dealing with, an actual argument. But, it's one argument. It could even take up 10 minutes of a day out of the entire month. And I'm not trying to downplay it, but whenever I see something under a 6 on the totem here, no matter what the element, it's just kind of like, yeah, it's not a big deal. It's a way for you to say, oh, okay, well, now I know, I'm going to move ahead. What's interesting about the 5 being in your recent past and the 7, elementally the same in your near future, is that there's a gamble or a risk here where there could be some deception, or someone trying to get away with something. On the other hand, if this is a positive new venture for you, and it could very well be, then this is, a very positive gamble, okay? So crowning the reading for you is, a choice. You're going to make a choice in, oops, my mic, sorry guys, a choice in a new direction. And could be romance, but it could also be business or enterprise. And this is going to cause a lot of excitement. It's going to be a little bit of fun for you. But again, anything new is going to have its own process. It's going to have its own issues and problems and all the rest of it. So make room for that as well. Like, no matter what plan you have, try to account for mitigation of problems or any upsets. Or like I said, make sure you have more than one plan. But a decision about a direction, a choice about a direction is being made here in your near future. I spoke about this in detail just a moment ago, but the 7 of Swords, there's a lot of energy going on here. There's a lot of movement here. There is a chance for revision or refinement. But again, if this is a positive display or say development and exposure, right, with the sun, and exposure of your innate or natural talents, then it is going to feel like a little bit of a gamble. And you kind of have to get out of your own way, especially when you're self-advocating or it's kind of like writing like a resume or a cover letter. It's like, it kind of feels like you're full of it because you're talking yourself up so much, but everything in it is true. So maybe just talk yourself up so much for once and just, praise yourself and just let these talents shine. Maybe don't read into them so much and don't worry about what other people have to say about them. Here in your how people see you, right? How people see you is someone who's just coming to terms with something and it's just taking the veil off. This is actually going to be a positive outcome for you, but it will be a difficult process. You're just going to have to see something, including yourself, for what it really is. And even if that means, you know, overcoming your sense of shyness, or overcoming your sense of self-limitation, self-imposed limitations, or ideas or narratives that you have about yourself, things you say about yourself, right, in your head, like we all have these conversations in our head about who we are, and etc. You know, it's just about coming to terms. It's like how other people are seeing you is that you are just trying to come to terms with something. It is very interesting here because our communication or our conversation could really make all the difference here about getting you through a hurdle, getting you on the other side, even professional advice at this time. But remember, there is some emotional heaviness here as well. There just could be a feeling of being let down for some reason. You're either letting yourself down, someone else is letting you down. Don't let that be the case though. If you can, you know, definitely try to be in charge of your own future, your own decisions here. And definitely be willing to follow through here with how you see yourself, right? You see yourself as someone who's very, very sensitive, someone who's very creative and sensitive, has a lot to offer, has a lot of love to give. This is also a language of love, how to communicate lovingly. But again, with our second page, this is it is innate creativity. This is good news regarding innate creativity. So, you know, again, try not to let old past opinions of yourself or anything from the past come back because you're bigger than that now. And again, that's just in the mind. It's just an awareness level. The 8s are awareness. You're aware of something now. You're going to choose this. You're going to choose your creative outlets. What are you paying attention to, right? Where are you putting your time and energy? Remember that 7 of Cups that jumped out at the very beginning. What are you paying attention to? What's filling your cup? What are you drinking from today? Well, if it's from the Page of Cups water, listen, pure creativity, pure, unadulterated, out in the public, everyone loves it, lots of support, pure victory, pure success. So yeah, you know, just what are you paying attention to? And I think it's going to make a big difference. Here's an old hurt, but this is in your hopes and fears positions, guys. It's in your hopes and fears positions. And guess what you're afraid of? You're just afraid. You're just afraid. It's a big change. It's a big move. It could even remind you of something from your past. It could bring up an old scar, an old hurt, but it's a fear, guys. It's not real. It's not real. It's just a fear. And again, I want to point out here, your mind is going to be, it needs to be different from what's in your heart, but you need to make up your mind about what's in your heart. So you're really coming from such a positive place. Don't let your past drag you down. And where are we here? Almost at 20 minutes. All right, guys. But yeah, an old hurt, something that broke your heart, something that let you down, right? Something that let you down. Don't live there though. Here in your advice card is the 10 of Wands. It's the end is near. You're almost ready in a position now to put the weight. The weight comes off your shoulders, okay, guys? A new opportunity. Remember, the ace follows this in the cycle. Once the 10 cycle is over, the ace. So a brand new opportunity. So, you know, be willing to follow through here. Be willing to follow through and do the hard work of getting yourself out of a difficult situation. I want to do one of these 5s. I'm interested in what these 5s are saying. I'm actually going to do both. I'm going to do, why is 5 of Cups bottom of the deck energy for Virgo, June 2020? Why is 5 of Cups bottom of the deck energy for Virgo, June 2020? Why is 5 of Cups bottom of the deck energy? Qualify the 5 of Cups for bottom of the deck energy for Virgo for June. Guys! This is crazy. My heart just leapt out of my chest. So she showed up at the beginning, as you'll recall. And here we have our 3 5s. So I'm glad I said that, right? Conflict and chaos. It's normal. It's normal when there are big decisions and big changes being made. This is a really actually positive sign for you. Conflict and chaos. Yes. Get it over with. Move on, right? You're leveling up. You're leveling. I'm sorry. It's just funny though. Why is there a little bit of a letdown, an emotional letdown? It's because there's going to be some conflict and chaos, probably at work, probably some shakeups at work. Maybe this is really all about work, or how you work or what you work on. I'm sorry, but that's funny, guys. Come on. Why is the Five of Cups bottom of the deck? Because of the Five of Wands. Sure. Why is the Five of Swords? Qualify the Five of Swords in the recent past. Qualify a Five of Swords recent past. Virgo, June 2020. Five of Swords recent past, June 2020. Just watching the time here so I don't run out on you. Why is the Five of Swords in the recent past for Virgo, June 2020? Five of Swords, recent past, Virgo, June 2020. Oops. Qualify the Five of Swords. Oh dear, I don't think I want three. Let's just get one of these. You know what? I'm going to take them. I'm going to take them. These are really significant. This was upside down for the record, but I don't read reversals. So I'm going to tell you both sides of them.